guys, hope you guys are good. My name is Ria Revitumlota and I'm so excited to be here. And thank you so much for returning. Thank you so much for being part of this family. If you're new here, just hit that subscribe button because you're about to enjoy and be part of the family, right? So thank you so much for tuning in. So today, as you can see by the title of this video, it's story time. So I'm going to be explaining a story of how I actually got divorced at a very young age, right? I am still healing, so I just hope I don't get emotional while telling you guys the story, right? So but no problem, we can just get into it. So I was in matric when I met this guy. I didn't really like him at the beginning. You know, it was just that thing of, okay, this guy, like, you know, those guys that always, okay, he used to work just next to my school. I was in matric. He used to work just next to my matric, so he knew our knocking off time. You know, I think our knocking off time was actually his lunch, so he actually used this as an advantage, that, you know what, I'll just catch this one when I am on lunch, right? No problem. He used to be that guy, one of those guys that actually come to you always, hey, please, can I talk to you? Please, can I please have your numbers? Please hear me out. He was those guys, you know. And already, like, even me and my friends had already given him those nasty names, you know. Like, it was just, he was just you know, a mosquito in my ear. Like, I didn't really want to even hear him out. But there was this one time where I just decided that, you know what, okay, that time I was alone. I was standing alone after school waiting for my transport. So I decided that, you know what, let me just hear him out, because I think I was actually influenced by my friends each and every time I have to, you know, give him an ear, right? So that day I didn't even have an excuse. Remember, at school they didn't want us to actually carry cell phones at school. So, you know, I was just standing there, you know, didn't know what to do, holding this, touching this. I didn't know who to call. So that day was just not my day, right? No problem, I just decided to give him an ear that day. Fine, I gave him an ear. He's told me that he liked me. Hey, he has good intentions. Hey, what, you know, all those kind of stuff. And I was like, okay, no problem, you know. So I gave him a chance, right? But it was not that same day. I actually gave him my numbers on that day. My phone was at home. I think he just didn't believe me, because it's been a while that I was actually ignoring him. So he didn't believe me when I actually gave him my numbers. But I was like, you know what, just text me, you know. And he's like, I don't believe you. And I'm like, that's your problem. If you don't believe me, then don't text them. So Shapo, I got home and I actually found a WhatsApp text from this number that I didn't know. Obviously it was him. And then we started communicating. It was Friday on that day. It was Friday. So we had extra classes on Saturday. So I had to go to school on Saturday. So I went to school, and then our classes ended by 12, right? It was already in the afternoon. So he decided to come pick me up, and then we actually went on our first date, right? Fine, it was actually nice. We enjoyed, you know. It was a bit awkward because, remember, I don't know this guy, you know. I just met him, and obviously for dates to not be too awkward, you first need to at least chat for like maybe 2 weeks or 3, or maybe a while, nyana, just to get to know each other and know what to say to each other. But remember, I just had few hours actually, because it was Friday night, or Friday evening and night, Friday night, evening, and then the following day I didn't even text them good morning, because I had classes. And Lorna, I didn't want to be that girl, you know. you understand. I guess you understand, right? No problem. First date, it was a bit awkwardish, bit weird. I couldn't even look at him in the eyes, because blah blah blah. No problem. Fast forward, we started dating. Everything was nice. I passed my matric. Fast forward, went to school. He was there every step of the way. Like, everything was so nice. Flowers, getting them, everything that I need. There, he was just there. And he was that guy who I didn't have to ask to actually get. He understood that I wasn't that type of, can I please ask, may I please have, but he just, listened to what I actually desired to have. Maybe while we are just talking and be like, I wish I had that sneaker, I wish it's just an example. And then he would just get me by surprise, and I'm like, oh, everything was just nice, guys. Everything was beautiful, right? Fast forward, after 3 years, right? After 3 years of our relationship, he decided to actually go to my place, Ayon Chalobol, right? This guy had so much money, guys. So much money. Like, it's not the polo type. It's not the quid type. Like, he had a lot of money, right? Well, obviously, if somebody wants to marry you and he's stable, and Luena, you are about to be stable, like, it's actually nice. It's giving that vibe, like, okay, things are actually merging, things are, things are actually becoming nice, right? He had 2 German cars, which was a beautiful thing, and I was like, oh, he was stable, he was neat, he was tidy, he was like everything. His apartment was just beautiful. He loved beautiful things. You would even swear that maybe he had a lady who actually arranged the house for him. And no, he's just tidy and he just loves beautiful things, right? So everything was fine. He went and actually paid my lobola. Fasting forward, guys, I won't tell you the process of me telling my mom, wow, blah, fast forward, because I want to get to the real story or real part, right? So fast forward, paid my lobola. We didn't really have a big wedding. I just had my traditional wedding after my lobola, but it was just a mini function. It was not really big, So because we're actually planning on having a white wedding, we were saving on having a white wedding. That was the initial plan, right? So no problem. Fast forward, things were nice. Everything, like, I got literally everything, almost a housewife, because I was actually studying, and I really didn't even bring anything to the table, just myself and my books, and somebody was just taking care of me, right? So it got to the part where we actually decided, or I initiated that, what, we've been trying to have a baby, and what's going on, and then he's like, I also want a baby, but I don't think it's necessary if Lauren, we have a problem, because we've been trying. If we have a problem in that department, we can always adopt. His main subject was always on, let's adopt. He was pushing on the adopt part, because I think he actually knew his problem, right? Let's adopt, but he didn't just want to put it out there, but he was just because I also felt like he was being nice, because obviously if a couple can't give birth, the first problem is actually a woman, that maybe she's infertile, maybe she doesn't know how to do, maybe she's her womb is maybe it's always women, right? And we need to stop that, guys. We really need to stop that. I got hated by his mom, his sisters, his, telling me that I can't make children. Hey, I'm not even woman enough. They were all telling me this nasty stuff. It was not nice. It was not a nice experience, because we couldn't even go to his place, right? Or to his home, or I couldn't even go to his home, because I felt like, they're gonna insult me, they're gonna, and his mom would come to our house, come and, check like little things, like, you didn't even mop yesterday, your food. I wonder how my son actually copes. He started to actually have this hatred towards me, but he was not like that. In the beginning, she was fine with me. My ex-mom-in-law was fine with me, right? But now she started to be this very evil woman to me, right? Like, why don't you wake up early in the morning? And I used to not do that, and she used to be fine with that, right? Hey, your pots are not really tidy, you need to wash them properly, you didn't mop there, you didn't the food, everything. She just wanted me out of the marriage, actually. But my husband was fine, honestly. My husband was very fine, and he was kind, which actually made me to love him even more, because he was really supportive, right? And I also thought maybe it was my problem, right? Because obviously if everyone is pointing at you, Luena, you start to actually have this mindset that it's actually me, So he started saying, hey, adopt, let's adopt a kid, hey, blah, blah, let's just raise somebody's kid, because now I love you. I can't afford to lose you. I can't afford to have another wife, blah, 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 that. And I was like, oh, my husband is very supportive. I was really thanking God for him. I was like, God, you're just so good. You gave me this man. He's actually loving me unconditionally. The words that he actually said, that he, till death to do us apart, hey, in sickness and in health, he'll just be there, blah, 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 And I'm like, God, you're just too good. I just didn't know. So the problem actually went to my family also. Remember, he was not the only family involved. I also had a family, right? So my family is actually Christians, and yeah, I am actually a PK. My parents are actually PKs. They're pastors, that. Yeah, they're pastors of Bazalwani Church, the fire ones, the ones, the tongues ones, most, right? No problem. After a year, my parents decided that, what, they called me, and then they were like, Michael, we are thinking of just bringing a prayer group, a woman, prayer warriors, intercessors, so that they can pray with you and your husband. We believe God to be a good God who will actually give you a baby. They started preaching just like Sarah, just like who was Olawa Penina, the co-wife for Penina, I forgot the name, right? They actually started preaching, hey, barrenness is not godly. Hey, God is going to give you a child of your own. Hey, God is going to fix your marriage, because my marriage started to be actually messy, right? It was not nice. I was really not enjoying. I was even losing weight, guys. Like, it was just not nice, right? And then I initiated this plan. Okay, the call ended. I initiated this plan to my husband that, you know what, they want, okay, he doesn't go to church, his family doesn't believe anything in these things, right? So no problem. I told him that they want to come, bring prayers, prayer warriors, everything. I just told him everything, and he was like, no, it's not necessary. Why do you have to always bring, this is not necessary, hey, hey, hey. He started being against it, but I didn't even catch it. I didn't catch it. I was like, yeah, maybe they're actually exaggerating. Why can't they just pray at home, right, where they are? Why do they want to come here? What if those intercessors, and he even said, or what if those intercessors are just here to just mock you, or just look and find something they can talk about, hey, hey, blah, blah, because nobody really knew my house. Actually, I didn't make this housewarming, and I'm not a really visitor person or whatever, so they didn't even want to come. It was, they didn't know anything. So I actually believed my husband. I was like, maybe you're right. My parents kept initiating this plan, and I was like, you know what, I think I should do this, right? No problem. I didn't tell my husband that they were actually coming, right? Because I told my parents that he doesn't allow me, he doesn't want to, so they were like, okay, the plan will be that we are gonna come, and when you're going to act as if you didn't know that we are coming, right? And it's just a surprise, and he can't just chase us out. If we want to pray, we want to pray. So no problem. That weekend they decided to come Saturday morning. Go. No, already we were just, we were not even going anywhere, but everything was just fine. They didn't find the house messy, they didn't find us maybe unclean or what. Like, everything was just fine, right? They came here, and then they started praying, guys. They started praying. They prayed. My husband started to manifest, right? But the demon manifesting, it's his mom. Woo, guys, the demon manifesting in my husband. Oh my God. Sorry, guys. The demon manifesting in my husband is actually his mom, right? Hey, I don't want this marriage. Hey, this lady doesn't bring anything to the table. Hey, this lady is just taking my son's money. Hey, my son no longer sends us money at home. Hey, I don't want this lady in my house. Hey, she shouldn't even, I just want to mess this marriage. Hey, blah, blah, blah. It started to manifest, guys. It manifested until the demon came out, and then my husband was shocked and everything. They were taking a video. They were literally taking a video just to actually show my husband, because obviously you are unconscious. A demon is actually manifesting inside of you, right? So you can't actually see or even hear anything. You just don't have the knowledge. You're going to wake up as if you just fainted, right? No problem. The demon went out. Fast forward